Some 10 months ago, I reviewed the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-70. And don't bother watching that video because I watched it again before in preparation to review this, as you can well see, is a 2025 Mazda CX-70. I watched that video and oh my goodness, it was terrible. And well, because I did the video, I know why it was terrible. I mean, other than the fact that I suck at my job. No, I'm not really. I was trying to be really nice to the CX-70. I was trying to focus on the good stuff. Because basically the CX-70 left me, well, a lot colder than lukewarm about a lot of things on the vehicle. You see, this is the type of biased thing that I shouldn't admit to, but my first love was Mazda. I mean, long story short, the first new car that I recall coming home when I was about 7 years old was a brand new 1985 Mazda CX-70. My best friend's parents had bought an 84. I was all excited. And then in 1991, my father got an MX-6, and then I got an MX-6 a few years later, a used one, turbo. I loved Mazda. And then I graduated to Volkswagen. But anyway, point is that I've always had, and then the MX-5, of course, a very fond, a soft spot for Mazda products. And I've been with them, you know, through the CX-7, through the CX-5, which is fine, and the CX-3, the CX-30, the CX-50, CX-9, and now the CX-90, and and I loved the Mazda MPV and the B series, and oh, shut up, Matt. Okay, I will. Yeah, the Protege. My first press car ever, 1999 Mazda Protege LX. And as you can tell in this video too, I once again am struggling because the CX-90 I drove was a mild hybrid straight six model. This, if you look on a little badge, you know, if your screen is big enough, you can see it says PHEV on it. That's because this is the plug-in hybrid variation of the CX-70, and it also happens to be a GT model, so the top trim. I don't know what's going on, and I'm not done. I'm going to tell you now that when I return this vehicle, I will be picking up a CX-90 plug-in hybrid, and I'm really happy about that. Not just because I wanted to get more familiar with the vehicle and the technology, but this one isn't working for me. It's just not cool. It really isn't. It's not. I'll tell you obviously about all of that, but you have to agree with me though. It looks absolutely incredible in this color. I'll tell you the name in a few moments. But yeah, so in the following review, we're gonna do a number of laps of this 2025 CX-70 GT plug-in hybrid, and we're gonna go for a drive. And I can tell you now, the walk around, what you see is spectacular. What you don't see and how it translates into the driving experience, not so much. Anyway, please hang in there. Melting Copper Metallic. Melting Copper Metallic. That's the name of the color. Just so you know, it's a $350 option, and it looks extraordinary. I mean, there's a number of interesting colors, including the Artisan Red, which was the color of the CX-90 I drove last year. It's just so stunning, premium, unique, gorgeous. Wow. Okay, so pricing for the 2025 CX-70 in Canada. Starts at CX-70, yes, that's right. The base price is $49,750 for the base straight 6 model. The cheapest PHEV version, the GSL, is $58,750. For that kind of money, you get all-wheel drive, 10.25 inch touchscreen, 12.3 inch digital IP, you get 19-inch wheels, power tailgate, wired Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, moonroof, LEDs, heated steering wheel, heated front seats, power front seats, and all that business. I mean, it's very, very well equipped. There's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, At $58,750, you get the e-Sky Active. Okay, so my tester, as I noted, is a GT. Oh, by the way, the color, the way to tell the difference between the GSL and the GT, well, other than the wheels, is the fact that everything is body colored. The wheel arches in the bottom down there. It looks great in this color, but I do like the contrasting colors usually. But anyway, that's just really a matter of personal preferences. So when you step up to the GT, and you're looking at these 21-inch wheels, which are actually very, very nice. I love it's busy but simple at the same time, multi-spoke design. You get the panoramic moonroof, the body colored arches, oh yeah, and the bumpers too, the lower part, as opposed to being black. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Napa leather as opposed to leatherette, cooled front seats, and a number of other things, and it retails for $63,350. So if you tack on the $350 for the melting cup, you're looking at, can I math fast enough? Probably not. $63,700, which all told isn't completely insane for everything you get here. Speaking of everything you get, so power tailgate, obviously. With the GT, you get the fingerless, whoops, sorry, I'm gone silly. I won't edit that out because that's how, whatever. 1,122 liters of boot space, which is about 13 or 15 liters less than you get in the GSL. I'm not entirely sure why. This handle, by the way, oh my goodness, it feels flimsy, like it's gonna break within 6 months of using it. Should you want to access the cable charger, the tools to change the spare, and keep searching for where the third row seat went. Anyway, okay, so still big trunk, that's flimsy, good size, decent lift over height. It's actually quite nice, good size trunk, power operated, second row, and okay. Among the other good things of the color is look how wide the the second row door opens. That's got to be a solid 83.74 degrees. I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers out there, but that is wide. And not to mention the fact that the door is huge. So that makes ingress and egress for the kiddos and adults, obviously, very, very easy. I mean, look how wide the bottom is there. Seats very, very comfortable, actually. They're fairly plush. The Napa leather is beautiful. I love the two-tone treatment. Reclining, all that business. Here are your heated controls, your rear HVAC, and your USB-C ports. Oh, you also get a Bose audio and these things in the GT, which I absolutely love these things. Okay, I'm gonna do that now. There is an odd rattle, and that's one of the things that drives me insane about this CX-70. That is coming from somewhere in the B-pillar, or the seat, or the door, or the second row seat. I have finagled around with all the plastics to make sure that there's nothing loose. I really have made sure that the rear seat is clipped and not moving. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that, and maybe we'll hear it later. Probably not, because I'm doing this review, but anyway. This is premium mainstream. And saying mainstream sounds like I'm cheapening it, but I really am not. This is gorgeous fit finish. The switchgear is beautiful. Textures, the materials, the way it's presented. The dashboard itself, it's beautiful. We'll get in there, but just a word of caution, because I've done it twice so far. This, see how it kind of protrudes? The bezel around the vent? I whacked my knee. So, you get in too fast because you're like, whatever, the kids are frustrating you. Ayoy, that hurts. Anyway, just a little thing. Getting on board. 10.25-inch display. Still same thing, you can't operate it, with your fingers while you're driving or at all. HVAC controls very straightforward. I have to say that right now it is, 27 degrees. Okay, well, it's been in the high teens, low 20s most of the week. So this has been off a lot. This is more has to do with the range, which there, I can just show that to you right there. So there's your EV range, but that's because I've been driving a little bit. Storage is good. Storage, very decent storage. Again, the finish, very nice. These are your MI drive modes, which is sport, normal, EV. And I got to show this to you as well. Okay, so you have to use the wheel. Just so you know, so you got to go to settings, EV settings, And this is where you will have access to, I hope you can see, yeah, you can. Okay, so regenerative braking level, that's how you change it. Normal, high, I have it set in high. I'll talk to you about that. Hopefully I'll remember a little bit later. EV priority mode, so when you start it, it always starts in EV, should there be enough charge. And that's about it, other than drive modes. It's beautiful in here. It's just absolutely beautiful. And visibility is quite nice. Admittedly, it's really good. The screen sits low enough, so this is like eye height for me. And that opening there is just fantastic. See everything you see. Beautiful steering wheel, which, by the way, I remember criticizing Mazda that the heated steering wheel, and Mazda Toyota, I mean, doesn't heat up here. It only heats in the, say, 9 and 3-ish area. Same thing for Mazda. That's cheap, guys. Very cheap. The shifter, I'm just going to show you. Okay, so park, reverse, and then drive. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't know. There's something about the way it functions it's just me. It's just me. I'll shut up now and we'll start to drive. So, well, I'll have to keep talking. So let's go. The shifter. Okay, I know it's just me, but the thing is that when you're moving it, if you release the brake too soon and you're going from drive to reverse, it stops in neutral, but your shifter is all the way at the end. Which is the same when you're going into drive from reverse. It is just me, something you get used to, whatever. Okay, let's get right into the thick of things. This has a 17.8 kilowatt hour battery, which is what gives it its plug-in hybrid name, that when fully charged, it's getting warm in here, will give you 42 kilometers of range. 42 is... Oh, I'm going to make excuses for... Do you hear that? Okay, that's why there's no baby seat back. No baby seat back there, because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't coming from an exterior source or noise or whatever. This is what's going on. This is... Okay, so 42 kilometers of range, and that's why I pointed out that the HVAC system was turned off, and it has been most of the week, high teens, low 20s degrees Celsius, so no need for heat or cooling. So I've been having or getting indicated ranges, twice 44 kilometers, once 46, and I forget the first morning, but I've been charging it every night, so I have max EV range, so I can take the kids to day camp and I can take them to daycare. And so far, I mean, it's fine. I mean, just now I kind of dipped in the throttle, which I don't do very often for a reason that maybe I'll show you again when the light turns green, because I'm lucky like that. I don't know, I'm making excuses for... It's okay as long as you charge it all the time, but it's not okay because for 42 kilometers of range, you're carrying 400 pounds of battery with you everywhere you go. 400 pounds. Indicated fuel consumption numbers are 9.9 liters in the city, 8.7 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway, which I know, all things considered, isn't that bad for such a large mid-size SUV, but it's like 400 pounds for only 42 kilometers. It's not the payoff, the trade, I don't know. It's not working out for me. And as soon as the traffic starts moving, this stop and go traffic, the electric motor, which takes over from the naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, which feeds the 8-speed automatic transmission to extend the power to all 4 wheels. It's jerky, it's unrefined, it hesitates, and that was mild throttle application. Okay, apparently I'm out of EV mode, but I still have 25. Okay, EV, all right. I think what I said in my CX-90 review, or what I wrote, is that the vehicle feels half-baked. In the exterior, they put 100%. The interior, they put 100%. The powertrain, the only thing I can think of is that they began conceiving it in 2014, 10 years ago. And they focused on different things as opposed to the drive. I mean, okay, I'm gonna just go into normal. Oof. Okay, I'm gonna go into, that was sport, apologies, now normal. It's so noisy. It's so noisy. And even under mild throttle application, the 4-cylinder is noisy. And that's one of the issues with the plug-in hybrids, because when you go from all EV to hybrid and the engine kicks in, you're like, what the heck is going on? You're used to a serene ride and you know, everything's quiet and smooth, and then suddenly steering is nice, brakes are okay. Regen braking, I left it in high because there's a 10% difference as far as I can tell between normal and high. I mean, I did it at least 25 times, switching from one to the other, going from, you know, watching the speed decrease after I back up the throttle in one mode or the other, and it's barely noticeable. So might as well get, you know, the one pedal drive is not possible, is an auto hold button. Right, it's not just me, you hear that, right? And then finally there's the ride, which is not bad. It's not bad. What I said in the CX-90 is that, you know, Mazda buyers want, for the most part, a Mazda driving experience, which for a large mid-size SUV is essentially what you'll get in your CX-70 and CX-90. But it's not comfortable enough. It's not sporty enough. It's you know, multi-link in the rear, independent in the front, obviously. There's no, the compromise for not enough forgiveness isn't better handling, or better handling compromised for plushness and more compliance. It's like sitting right on the line where it's neither this, neither that. It's not bad, but it could be so much better. There, just in EV mode, the slightest amount of throttle, and it either shoots forward or cuts off, and then it shifts, and then it backs off again, and it needs to be tuned. The whole thing needs to be tuned, and this is what I meant and still mean by half-baked. It's like it left the assembly line, or you know, and they were like, you know what, we're 90% done, but we're gonna send it out there anyway, because it looks great and there's a fair amount of value and it's well put together, except for whatever that is. But shoot, I'm trying really, really hard to like it, and I'm just going on, and I'm sorry. But I mean, if you want a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid, or you know, you get a Toyota or you get a Lexus, if you're going to spend $75,000+. Otherwise, in the segment, just get a plain regular V6 from Honda, which is a lovely engine. I mean, there's so many alternatives if you want a plain V6 again, but you only want a short-term relationship, go for your Telluride or the Palisade. I don't know, I'm skipping over a bunch of this. I am sorely disappointed in this. And the Atlas, meh, also. I hope the CX-90 is gonna change my mind, but yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.